Aria was the kind of person who never said no more. At work, she always took on extra tasks. At home, she handled everyone's needs before her own. She helped neighbors, friends, even strangers who asked for a favor. People admired her for her kindness and reliability. But deep down, Aria was exhausted. She had no more time left for herself. Somewhere along the way, she had lost touch with who she was. One evening, while finishing another late-night project, her phone buzzed. A message popped up, someone asking for help again. Without thinking, Aria started typing, "Of course." But as she pressed send, a quiet voice inside whispered, "What about me?" She froze. She couldn't even remember the last time she had done something just for herself. A few days later, on a rainy afternoon, Aria ducked into a small, cozy bookstore to escape the downpour. As she wandered through the aisles, a bright red book caught her attention. Its title read, "No More is a Complete Sentence." Curious, she opened it and began to read. One line struck her deeply, "Every time you say yes to others, you may be saying no more to yourself." It wasn't rude to say no more, it was necessary. That night, Aria sat with a notebook and made two lists, things she loved but never had time for: painting, hiking, reading. Things she did but disliked: staying late at work, attending pointless meetings. Looking at the lists, she realized the painful truth: she was living for others, not herself. The next morning, Aria made a promise to change. At work that day, her boss walked over and said, "Aria, can you stay late to finish the report?" Her heart pounded. She almost sighed yes out of habit, but then she remembered the book. With a calm smile, she sighed, "I'm sorry, I have plans tonight. I can't stay." Her boss blinked in surprise, then nodded. "All right, I'll find someone else." Aria waited for guilt to wash over her, but instead, she felt light. The world hadn't fallen apart. It actually felt good. At first, saying no more was uncomfortable. She worried people would think she was selfish. But soon, something amazing happened. When Aria said no more to things she didn't care about, she finally had time for what she did love. She skipped a dull meeting and spent the evening painting. She turned down a party she didn't want to attend and went hiking instead. Her real friends understood. Those who liked her only because she always said yes slowly faded away, and that was okay. Aria learned that saying no more isn't rejection, it's protection. It protects your peace, your time, your happiness. With her newfound freedom, Aria began teaching art classes for children at the local library, something she had always dreamed of doing. She reconnected with old friends, and even started dating again, this time being completely herself. Every time she said no more to what didn't feel right, she was really saying yes to herself. For the first time in years, she felt truly alive. Months later, Aria's company offered her a big promotion abroad. It sounded impressive: more money, more responsibility, but also more stress and the distance from loved ones. Everyone expected her to say yes. But at the meeting, she took a deep breath and sighed calmly, "Thank you for the offer, but it's not the right time for me. I'll have to say no more." The room went silent. Her bosses were surprised, but Aria felt proud. She was finally living life on her own terms. A year later, her world looked completely different. Aria opened her own art studio, a small, warm space filled with colors, laughter, and creativity. She worked on projects she loved and spent time with people who truly cared. She wasn't drained anymore. She wasn't lost. Saying no more hadn't made her unkind. It had made her free. Aria had discovered a simple but powerful truth: your time and the energy are your most precious gifts. Every time you say yes to something that drains you, you lose a piece of yourself. But every time you say no more to what doesn't feel right, you make room for what truly matters. Maybe you're like Aria, always saying yes, always trying to please everyone. If you are, remember this: saying no more isn't selfish. It's self-respect. You don't owe anyone your exhaustion. You owe yourself your peace. Every no more you say to others is a yes to your own happiness. Start today, say no more with kindness, and say yes to yourself.